Coordinates locked. Hellpods prime.
Found something! Requesting sentry. Bag's empty.
Making progress.
North.
Tagging map, west.
Found something! I'm on it! I'm on it!
Requesting support. Requesting air support. Dropping a pin, north. Found something!
Mission
Throwing grenade. Calling down a sentry.
Bug outpost spotted!
Got a
Prepare to
sample.
exterminate!
Calling down supplies. Engaging terminal. I got the terminal. Engaging terminal.
Engaging terminal.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
Aiming at an eagle! Bug tunnel breach! Requesting advanced weaponry!
I got the terminal.
I'm coming.
Orbital inbound!
Tagging map. South.
Tagging map. Southeast.
Out of ammo.
You may proceed to extraction when ready.
Calling in extraction.
Extraction request confirmed. Shuttle inbound.
Requesting sentry. Last reload.
ETA T-minus 1 minute 30
Speed is the essence of war.
Synchronized.
What about here?
Launch initiated.
The fate of all humanity's children are in your hands. Do not let them fall.
Reloading! Calling down a sentry.
Sending down sentry.
Bag's empty! Dropping a pin, east. Bug tunnel breach!
Dropping a pin, southeast.
Tagging map west. Requesting sentry.
Deploying sentry.
Requesting air support.
Coming in hot. The one rearming. Be back shortly.
Bug hole, northwest. On my position.
Calling down a sentry. Bug
Calling
out
down
to
a
a
support
spot.
weapon.
Prepare to exterminate. Reloading.
Eagle 1 armed and ready.
No bed.
Tagging map west.
Reinforcing. Reloading. New mag. I got the terminal.
Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
Democracy prevails once more.
We'll be generating fewer condolence letters than usual today. Well done. Helldiver, glad to have you on board.
Look, I've been trying to make this video for like a whole like 10 days now. But look, man, I'm a private person when it comes to like real stuff that goes on in my life. But all right, go ahead and get it out the way. I did not get a BBL. I've seen your comments. Stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not coming back with a fat ass. So, you know, I'm sorry to ruin your plans. No, they did not clone me. No, that didn't happen. You know, I have a corrective surgery that I always wanted. And look, I'm straight. I needed time to recover. But also, welcome back.
This is the kids' room. It could really be anything. A library, a home gym. Buying a home is easy if you have the right agent.
What's up, guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. So, rumors of my abduction by extraterrestrials have been greatly exaggerated. I haven't joined any space cults, lost my mind, or landed in jail. Sorry to burst the bubble for the naysayers. I know they'll be pissed that I'm back, but hey, someone has to do some legitimate reporting. And from what I've heard and seen lately on social media, UFO research has turned into a shit show. First, however, I want to touch briefly on my absence because I feel I owe it to those of you who may not have a complete picture and share something with you that's been 11 months in the making. 11 months it's taken me to sit down and crack open the laptop and finally get back to work doing what I love. So if you're scratching your head and thinking of tapping that unsubscribe button, just hold off for a minute and let me bring you up to speed. Life simply took an unexpected turn. The heart of my absence revolves around a deeply personal loss. Last March, my father, a man of immense strength, resilience, and the true patriarch of our family, passed away suddenly, leaving our family and especially me in a complete tailspin. This man, Donald Max Nichols, wasn't just my dad, but my mentor and hero. Fun fact for you guys about my dad, my father not only served in the Navy just shy of the Korean War, but was part of the infamous Manhattan Project back during World War II and lived with his father and mother on base at the highly secretive Oak Ridge, Tennessee facility, which was actually a completely fake city that never existed and that was basically erected from the ground up to be used as a secret base for the mission to end the war. Oak Ridge was one of 3 secret cities of the Manhattan Project, along with Los Alamos in New Mexico and Hanford, Richland in Washington State. More than 125 5,000 scientists, technicians, and support staff occupied the 3 cities by the end of the war, where my dad and his family lived for years, and where enriched uranium for use in Little Boy, the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima, Japan on August 6, 1945, was constructed. You may have heard of this project from a little-known film that came out recently called Oppenheimer. Great film, by the way. But despite these remarkable ties, his greatest legacy to me was the lesson of resilience and the importance of family. So that's where I've been since March of last year. I've been unable to do much except hurt and sleep, but alas, here we are, and it's a great night for me to post this. At the end of the day, the grief from losing such a foundational figure was paralyzing. It forced me into a state of withdrawal from the world. I simply could not work, not even a YouTube short. Instead, I've been in what I can only describe as an extremely depressed fog that never ends, but that is now finally somehow lifting, it seems. I wasn't sure if I had the energy to come back, but through the darkness of loss, the support and stories shared by this community have been a beacon of hope and strength. In the end, guys, your patience and support have been my rock, and in today's first video back, I'm going to do the least amount of talking possible and just give you guys some hard-hitting UFO footage, some slight analysis of recent events, and really just anything strange happening throughout our universe that I feel worth sharing, just like the good old days. And with that, let's begin with our first report.
R-7052, go ahead.
Yeah, is there any active military airspace just like north of Winnipeg?
No, nothing I'm aware of. You said north of Winnipeg?
Yeah.
No, not right now.
Okay. Lots of active bright lights, information, 3, and they look like they're at like 500 or something, just trying to figure it out.
Okay, yeah, no, I haven't heard anything. I'll check out with the next sector. And you said around 50,000 feet, roughly, is that correct?
Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, it's hard to say, but yeah, it keeps being like 3 to 4 really bright lights, and they kind of were in like a triangle formation, and then it looks like they will differ for a bit, and then they disappear, and then they come back.
Okay, okay, thanks for that. I'll just make a note, but yeah, I can't think of what that might be.
Oh.
Deep in the heart of the Canadian skies, a mystery unfolds, a spectacle that challenges our understanding of the world above. This is the story of the Canadian Triangle Mystery. In January,
Encuentra recursos y beneficios para profesionales visitando aliadopro.com.
What's up, you mother suckers?
Broadcast live, broadcast Houston.
You watching broadcast Houston? Laying it down with broadcast Houston.
Broadcast Houston. You're watching broadcast Houston.
Hey yo, broadcast Houston.
Broadcast Houston.
Cast Houston.
You tune in to broadcast Houston.
Broadcast Houston. Shout out broadcast Houston.
Broadcast Houston. We ain't losing. Shout out to broadcast Houston.
Broadcast Houston.
Broadcast Houston. Y'all know what it is. Your man Nick Cannon.
Big shout out to broadcast Houston.
Broadcast Houston.
Shout out to broadcast Houston.
Broadcast H-Time.
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 Yeah.
Broadcast Houston. Broadcast Houston.
Broadcast Houston. Broadcast Houston.
Broadcast Houston.
Broadcast Houston.
Broadcast Houston. Shout out to broadcast.
Face down. Face down. She like a... Face down. Welcome home, my nigga Jizzle. Solid nigga, one of the solid niggas I ever came across. Nigga, I'ma always have you, nigga. That nigga, when I went, that nigga had me. When I went, that nigga had me, nigga. You one of the last motherfuckers, bro. I swear to God, I love you. You know, nigga, I love you, bitch. I love you, nigga. Give me some love, nigga. I love you, nigga.
So, you got a movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. So, you got...
Thanks Liquid IV for sponsoring this video. Today's experiment is going to be absolutely insane. And for good reason, let me explain. A little over 2 years ago, I made an insane experiment using lime sparkling water. This technique was invented by a Michelin star to make steaks more tender. And in the end, the experiment was a success. Now that is the reason why we are going to Extreme today. And everything starts off with this. It is a rib roast, choice grade, and perfect for today's experiment. So the first thing to do is to go ahead and split it in half. These are some thick steaks, about 2.5 inches thick. To keep our control as is, the best thing to do is to go ahead and vacuum seal it and freeze it. It will stop it from aging and keeping it as fresh as possible. So this one now goes into the freezer, as now things are about to get a little bit weird. Last time, if you recall, I used lime sparkling water, but that was made with artificial flavors. Today I want to use something more organic. To be specific, lime and lemon. Hopefully this is going to infuse a wonderful flavor into the steak. At least, that's my hope. So after slicing a few of them in half, they are now ready. Into a container, I threw in all of the citrus. Once that was done, I placed my steaks right in there and immediately went in with the sparkling water. This is an important part that it must be completely submerged. So yeah, we had to use a good amount of sparkling water, and you will immediately notice that the citrus will float. But not only that, it seems like the fat is also floating. Oh boy. This is something unexpected, because the next thing to do is to go ahead and give it a time. So into the dry ager you went for half a year.
Meet the Jennifers. Gen X, Gen Y, and Gen Z. Each planning their future through the Chase mobile app. Gen X is planning a summer in Portugal.
Coming from the grill, right here, the epic flip.
Thanks Liquid IV for sponsoring this video. The liquid, and once I did, things got even more weird as we started to pat it dry real good, and one side looked even worse than the other. Why that is, I have no explanation, but take a closer look. It reminds me of frostbite. I think the acidity from the lemon and lime did something to it, and if I put them side by side, take a look. You can clearly see which one is the experimental steak, because now the next thing to do is to get them seasoned. For that, I went with a good amount of salt followed by freshly ground black pepper and garlic powder. Now that this is ready, I wanted to allow the salt to penetrate deeply into the meat. That was perfect because it allowed me time to go ahead and make an awesome side dish, and unlike our experimental steak, I can tell you that this is going to be delicious. The best part is that to make it, it's super simple, and here's how. The first thing to do is to make some mashed potatoes, and the easiest way I know how to make them is using my microwave, especially if you have this special container. All you gotta do is throw all the potatoes in there, microwave it on high for 10 minutes. Once the time is up, uncover the lid, add some butter, salt, and black pepper, mashed everything well, and after about 5 more minutes in the microwave, there you have it, mashed potato. Nice and easy to make. The next ingredient is just as easy. It's a wonderful, sweet, spicy chili oil. So into a heat-safe container, I threw in some cochucaro, followed by scallion, garlic, brown sugar, sesame seeds, Shaoxing wine, soy sauce, black vinegar, and hoisin sauce. Now once that's ready, you want to heat up some avocado oil to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Then immediately pour it in. just make sure you are using a heat-safe container, because if not, this can actually happen to you. Yeah, it made a mess, but if you do everything right, or just do it in a pot, in the end you're gonna be left with some incredible chili oil. Next up is pretty straightforward. I got some lean ground beef, seasoned it with salt and pepper, and made some tiny small meatballs. That's because we want some crunchy element, and making them nice and tiny will get them super crispy. Once they were all ready, into a 350-degree oil they go. This takes no time at all, because remember, they're tiny. As you can see in the end, take a look. We got some beautiful meatballs that anyone will love. Now the only thing left to do is to assemble. First, I added the mashed potato, then for presentation purposes, we made a quick bow design. Then immediately went in with the miniature meatballs. Let's just say the more the better, as now it was time for the star of the show, and that would be that chili oil. This is delicious, friends. I'm telling you, it's good with everything. For another crunchy element, go ahead and add some crispy onions. To finish it off with some acidity, add some lemon zest. Oh yes, I told you this was gonna be good. And as you saw it there, it is ridiculously easy to make. This is going to be fantastic. But I'm not quite sure about today's experiment, because now that all of the steaks are seasoned, the only thing left to do is to go ahead and cook them. First, you want to put a nice beautiful sear on it. Once that's done, you want to cook it in indirect heat until it reaches an internal temperature of 135 degrees Fahrenheit. And for that, I'm going to be using my Meter Plus. As now I say, it is enough talking, and it is time to grill some beautiful steaks. So let's do it.
Does that look good or what? And before we try it, let me thank today's sponsor, Liquid IV. Now you can hydrate while you energize with their Energy Multiplier. It's an incredible 3-in-1 package. Hydration, physical energy, and mental clarity. Hydration is extremely important for me. Every day I work out really early in the morning, and Liquid IV helps me quickly replenish electrolytes and fluids lost while lifting weights. But it also helps me with physical energy and mental clarity that I need for the rest of my day. I mean, I do need to calculate percentages for recipes, and it does take a lot of energy to flip those steaks. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got flip it, everybody. It gives me energy for brain power, alertness, focus, and fatigue, and it provides faster hydration than water alone. I mean, what's not to love about that? They're available in 3 refreshingly energizing flavors: lemon ginger, yuzu pineapple, and mango tamarind. My favorite is the yuzu pineapple because it's so delicious. Each one of these sticks is bursting with refreshing flavors. It helps me get hydrated, and it gives me the boost that gets me through my day. So check them out in the description down below. New customers can use my discount code GUGA for 20% off at liquidiv.com. Hydrate while you energize with Liquid IV's Energy Multiplier. Thank you, Liquid IV, for sponsoring this video, but now let's get right back to it. All right, everybody, in here.
Lost a bet.
Bold. He's double espresso. This one's for the prize?
Intenso.
No. Cool. Definitely iced.
We have our beautiful steak with an incredible side dish, gentlemen. What do you guys think?
Monster steaks. I can't even smell the steaks, Guru. I just smell this chili oil side dish. My mouth is watering, man. I can't wait to take a bite.
Doesn't it look good? No, guys, I wish you could smell it. That smells phenomenal, everybody, all the way to the top. So here's the big disclaimer, okay?
Oh, there's a disclaimer?
Yes, there is. You do not have to eat this one. If you don't want to eat it, you don't have to eat it. Because this is one of those experiments that you make it and you forget. I kind of forgot, everybody. I'm not going to lie.
Stop doing that, bro.
So, if you are okay with it, we're going to start in this direction. Please dig in.
The first steaks are normally controlled, so this one hopefully is fine.
Oh, maybe I did trick you, my friend.
That's crazy. That's not cool.
Enough talking. Let's give it a try. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Oh, good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Now, you okay with that one?
Uh-huh.
Good. You said I told you.
You had me nervous there, Guru.
Really?
I thought I was walking face first into whatever crazy experiment you had, but no weirdness, no craziness, nothing that makes me want to let my insides come out. It's good.
This one tastes normal, though. It doesn't taste like it's dry aged. It doesn't taste like anything crazy. It just tastes
normal.
Good. I'm glad you guys like it because now I'm excited for the next one. Let's jump right in.
Let's jump right into that side dish is what we should do.
Okay, fine. Let's go ahead. Okay, notice that we have a little bit of meatballs there that you can see tiny, some chili oil, and some crispy onions. Make sure you don't make a mess, Leo.
Damn. I feel like all eyes on you. New Year's resolution. No messes. Oh. Okay. Guys, that was pretty picture perfect. We're doing great.
Oh, and you still need more chili oil.
I need to go for more.
Chill out, bro. Chill out, bro. Damn, bro. Enough talking. Let's give it a try. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Oh.
Wow.
How does it taste?
This tastes phenomenal. I love how the chili oil really absorbs that starchy goodness of the mashed potatoes, so you get that chili oil flavor and texture in every single bite. The meatball is perfect. It's an amazing side dish. It's not even a little bit spicy.
It's not that spicy.
It's got a little... It's delicious.
It is wonderful, everybody. I highly recommend you giving it a try, but now I want to go for the experiment. All right, let's dig right in. How does it smell, gentlemen?
Google, what the f***, man?
No cursing, Leo.
Bro, it's worth it, bro. What is this?
It's worth a curse?
What the hell? I thought that dry-aged chicken was one of the worst things I smelled. This is
it smells a little bit different, everybody. Again, you don't have to try it if you don't want to, but if you do and you are ready for something new, let's give it a go right now. Cheers.
Cheers.
What do you mean?
No. Oh my God.
It's not great.
Wait, oh, hold on. Oh my God. How are you even chewing that?
Oh boy. What happened, Leo? Can you describe this flavor? Oh, you're going for the side dish. That's not a bad idea, Leo. Let's bring this taste back to the flavor. So what happened, Leo?
That doesn't even deserve a description. That's terrible. That's horrible. That's atrocious. That is a crime against humanity. You shouldn't. That?
Yeah, throw it away.
So here's the thing. You bite it, and it has this lemon flavor to it, like a really old lemon.
Like an old
like
lemon.
disgusting. And then the meat flavor's not even there.
It's mild.
Imagine biting into a steak and you just taste nothing but lime.
I'm so surprised that you guys could tell exactly what it is because, by the way, you are 100% right. This one was aged for a very long time, specifically half a year, in sparkling water and lime. Now, are you probably thinking, why did you do that, Gugut? Haven't you ever gone to a restaurant and they put a little bit of lime and sparkling water for you?
Tastes great when you drink it, right?
When it's fresh. But this one didn't work out, everybody. This one didn't work out at all. It does not taste great, and I highly recommend you not giving it a try. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. If you're not a
Something's not right. Guaranteed fresh meat and berries at this low price. It's gotta be a mistake. Don't look back, don't look back. Damn, you look back! Let's go!
Dad, the prices are always this low!
Meat and produce guaranteed fresh at prices so low, it'll feel like highway robbery. It's an Aldi thing.
So for years, there has been rumors floating around that P. Diddy has quite a few skeletons in his closet, and that in the Hollywood background, he has been doing wrong by many people for many years. Allegedly, that is. This goes all the way back to his days coming up with Biggie Smalls, and later on, much more heinous rumors would come out involving him and his talent that he scouted over the years, including names like Usher and Justin Bieber, to name a few.
Everything's good? Selling out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Right, okay.
Remember?
So for years, fans of these artists have wanted P. Diddy locked up, or at the very least taken to trial, possibly R. Kelly style. But with none of these claims ever being substantiated, everyone always thought he was essentially untouchable. And most people who wanted to cause a legal problem for him in the past were given settlements before their cases could ever see the light of day. But now a new lawsuit has been filed against P. Diddy by an artist named Lil Rod, real name Rodney Jones, and the court filing has taken the internet by storm. And so at some point, guys, I do want to go through all these documents. We have over 70 pages here, but it does look like this guy, Lil Rod, aka Rodney Jones, is suing not only P. Diddy, but a whole bunch of people in the music industry. I mean, look at all these record labels and different entities. So yes, at some point I will go over all of this, probably on my second channel, because there's a whole bunch of crazy stuff here, a whole bunch of allegations levied against P. Diddy. And so in this specific instance, there's 3 people actually listed by name, One of them is Stevie J, who is one of P. Diddy's alleged accomplices. Of course, you have Mr. Combs, which is Sean Combs P. Diddy. And then you have Little Rod listed as Mr. Jones. So Mr. Combs used access to Stevie J and his knowledge of Mr. Jones' admiration of Stevie J to and entice Mr. Jones to engage in homosexuality. Mr. Combs went so far as to share a video of Stevie J being a Caucasian male. This was done to ease Mr. Jones' anxiety concerning homosexuality. According to Mr. Combs, this is a normal practice in the music industry. Look, even Stephen J is doing it. And this is the bit that went viral. Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones, so P. Diddy informed Little Rod, that he had engaged in intercourse with a rapper, name redacted, R&B singer, name redacted, and Stevie J. And so people started to question, well, what were those redacted names? As you guys can see, they're listed as 5 and 6. So if you go and look at the footnotes, number 5, he is a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Like, what other Philadelphia rappers has Nicki dated besides Meek? And number 6, he performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. And obviously that describes Usher. Now I will say all of this information should be taken with a grain of salt. I mean, I'm not saying
What are we doing?
TV about to take over the whole nation.
Got a whole lot to learn, young blood.
Streets is gonna be watching to see how I handle this.
Don't forget we blood.
Can't come to a spotlight.
I feel like I should have got vegetables now. I'm taking on the... Yeah. 53, I'm gonna eat some of these meatballs, and then I'll eat like a sandwich. Oh, that's lovely.
Yes. Homemade meatballs, delicious.
Homemade meatballs are delicious, yeah. Even better when they're the size of snooker balls. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode. Today we're trying to win the jackpot.
Yeah, I'm up on a cloud, ain't coming back down.
Try crunchy, melty, rich toasted chips.
I'd do anything for you, dear. Anything for you, mean everything to me. Our accredited PetSmart.
In this video we are going to explore one of my go-to painting methods that allows me to paint not only portraits but really anything in 4 simple steps. And to demonstrate how and even more importantly why this approach works so well, I'll be painting one of my signature style paintings that many of you have been asking me to paint for quite some time. So buckle up and let's find out how anything can be painted in just 4 simple steps. And if you want to dive even deeper into the process of how I painted this beautiful young lady here, make sure to head over to Patreon, where you can find an extended version for this and many of my other videos. Step 1. Create outlines. Every artist has experienced this at some point. For example, you're painting a face, focusing on mixing colors and being super accurate, capturing every detail. But when you finally take a step back, after many hours of focused hard work, you realize that somehow, somewhere along the way, things have gone sideways. The forehead is big enough to project a movie onto it, the lips are thin and don't have any volume, and for whatever reason, you have managed to somehow paint a face from 3 different perspectives at the same time. But the eyes you've painted look pretty decent, if only one of them wasn't 3 times as big as the other one. This is precisely why we start our paintings with an accurate drawing, or how I like to call it, outlines. Painting itself is already hard enough. Mixing colors, creating the illusion of light and shadow, painting transitions, creating texture. But doing all of that while trying to get proportions, anatomy or compositions right is more often than not a complete nightmare. Especially for people who don't have years and years of practice and experience. This is why the first step in painting anything is to take this part out of the equation and to deal with it before you even put down your first brushstroke. Doing this allows you to focus on everything else during the painting process without constantly running into problems because something drawing related is off. Doesn't matter what it is you want to paint, people, objects, dragons, aliens, you name it. It's always much easier to split the drawing and the painting portion up and deal with them separately. How you get there, of course, is totally up to you. There is no right or wrong way of doing this, and you should always do what suits you, your abilities and your goals best. Some people prefer to draw directly onto the painting surface and then start painting. In my opinion, not the best approach, for various reasons. Others use a form of grid method to translate their reference to the painting surface. Especially when you get to bigger paintings, this is almost inevitable. You can use a projector or a transfer method, or you can use a combination of the above. For example, creating a drawing and then transferring or projecting that drawing onto your canvas. Each method has its advantages and disadvantages, but they all give you the same result. I personally prefer to use something like a projector most of the time, because honestly, I can't be bothered with spending hours and hours on what's essentially just prep work for me. As a professional artist, my focus is to constantly produce the best work that I can as effectively and efficiently as possible, and skipping the drawing part altogether not only lets me do this best, but it also suits my painting style the best. But your mileage of course may vary. Step 2. Work out the details. The next step might sound counterintuitive, especially for people familiar with traditional drawing or painting bits of advice. But in my experience, it helps most people draw and paint anything they want in a simple and straightforward way. And it's to start with the most complex and detailed areas of what you're painting first. One of the most common art advice that you will come across is to start with big shapes. Start your painting very rough or loose and then gradually get more detailed and refined. This isn't necessarily bad advice, because if you have the skills and the knowledge to pull this way of painting off, it is one of the most visually pleasing and impressive. But if you don't, and believe me, most people don't, it's probably not going to work for you. Starting with big shapes and getting more refined is pretty much painting, drawing and figuring out proportions at the same time. It's already hard to do just one of these things, let alone do all of these things simultaneously. From a technical and psychological point of view, it makes a lot of sense to focus on the complicated stuff first and then to move on to other things. A painting can take anywhere from a few hours to a few days or even weeks. It makes sense to use the initial burst of energy and enthusiasm that you typically have at the beginning of a project to get some of the most challenging and most important parts out of the way. It's rewarding and motivating, and it encourages you to keep going because things are already looking promising. But also from a technical point of view, this makes sense. I started this painting, for example, by painting the eyes first, arguably the most essential element of the image. Focusing on this part first before doing anything else makes sure that I get this absolutely fundamental part right from the very beginning. There is nothing more frustrating and demotivating than running into problems halfway through a project. You're going to run into problems all the time anyway, but the complicated stuff is really hard to fix. Fixing a composition, absolute nightmare. Moving an eye 1 centimeter to the left, if you've ever tried that, you know that you might as well start a completely new painting at that point instead of bothering. And the same goes for lips or the nose. But fixing something like a hairline or color is relatively easy. So start with the complex stuff first, get it right from the start, and then enjoy a smooth ride. Step 3. Fill it out. With all the complex stuff out of the way, we can finally relax a bit. This is the part where you can actually be a bit looser and ease up a bit. The main goal of this step is to get paint onto the painting surface and to finally cover it up. This step is less about accuracy and more about creating the overall look for the whole painting. Color harmony, brushwork, texture. With this painting here, you will see me switch to bigger brushes and a lot more dynamic way of painting once I move away from individual features of the face. At this point, it's all about the flow of the brushstrokes and the color composition and the vibrant skin, but I also want to just cover everything up as fast as I can so I can finally move on to the last step. Chances that you don't have to make any corrections or adjustments after this are pretty much zero, so you might as well take things a bit easier and disregard some of the details you're going to have. See you in the next video. Hope you have a wonderful
America's hospitals have been pushed to the brink by broken supply chains, workforce shortages, and high inflation. Now, some in Congress want to reduce billions of dollars in funding for patient care. Congress, protect patient access to 24/7 hospital care.
We need to ensure that dangerous people don't remain on the street.
Deportation flights from the U.S.
Their belongings on the tarmac lying aside manacles and chains.
Do you say you want to get ICE involved to help deport migrants suspected of crime?
A long line of shackled men and women scooted off a private detention center contractor's bus, up a mobile staircase, and shuffled onto a private jet line. This is a deportation flight run by ICE Air.
New York City didn't create this crisis. Not only is it a financial burden, but it is also a burden to the quality of life.
Migrants who were deported to Haiti today attacked pilots and immigration officers on another flight after it landed. Several of those men stormed another recently arrived jet carrying families.
We need to ensure that dangerous people don't remain on the street, and it doesn't matter if they're migrants, asylum seekers, or if they're long-term New Yorkers. This city must be safe. We deserve to be safe, and I believe that wholeheartedly.
Are you looking to take executive action to make that happen?
The topic of New York's sanctuary city status remains in the headlines. We're going to hear from Mayor Adams tonight. The mayor
Toward the end of his TV career, Bob Ross stood atop a $15 million empire of live classes, art supplies, and how-to books. But if you buy one of the many Bob Ross products out there today, do you know who the money really goes to? You may not like the answer to that. While to many people Bob Ross symbolizes a life committed to artistic creation and the joy of painting, his life signified something way darker and more frightening. The exploitation of one's image in the name of profit and greed. This is the tragic story of Bob Ross that includes deathbed marriages, last-minute estate changes, business and family betrayals, CIA-style tape recordings, and even a former CIA agent. It's fairly easy to make millions in sales if you have the rights to a brand like Bob's. But what if you have your own business and want to make selling your own thing much easier? That's where today's sponsor Tidio comes in. AI is taking on the world, and you certainly know it, so why not take advantage of it? Tidio is an AI-powered chatbot for e-commerce that also offers a live chat option that can be integrated into your website in as little as 10 minutes without having to learn a single line of code. Tidio is an amazing tool to collect leads and guide your customers through their purchase journey all the way to checkout. My favorite feature is Tidio's AI chatbot templates, which help automate the entire process and engage with customers with the right message at the right time. Tidio is compatible with popular platforms like Shopify with a rating of 4.8 out of 5 stars based on over 1,500 reviews. They also offer personal training sessions to help you get the most out of your plan, as well as 24/7 customer support. Try Tidio today risk-free with their entirely free plan with no credit card required. Upgrade to a paid plan when it feels right, downgrade, or cancel at any time. And if you decide to upgrade to a premium plan, you'll get 20% off by using the link in the description. Or go to tidio.com/get/bad money. Thank you, Tidio, for sponsoring this video.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. Tuesday, December 3rd, 1991. I'm just looking over here at Bob Ross. I thought just for a minute Bob was going to do our portrait. Bob is looking at us and he's painting a mountain. I don't know.
He does. He's famous for his landscapes, mostly. Bob, do you do portraits?
Not very well. I do mostly trees and bushes.
Yeah, you do a great bush and a great tree.
Just out of memory, huh, Bob?
Yeah, I lived in Alaska for about 12 years, so a lot of my scenes come out of Alaska.
Robert Norman Ross was born in Daytona, Florida in 1942. He dropped out of school in 9th grade to work with his father as a carpenter. At 18, he joined the Air Force and moved to Alaska, where he'd spend the next 20 years as a drill sergeant screaming at recruits.